the attitude of the government in those days was that we had no Aboriginal rights to the land, no Aboriginal rights to hunting. And that is, you know, the government made up their mind before they go to the table, you know, for negotiations. And, you know, and we waste our time in using their terms of information, such as scientific information. And but many of our elders always say, we own this land, we use it, we make our living out of it. It is our storehouse. And without our storehouse, we can't live around here. We have no food, we have no heat, we have nothing to clothe ourselves with. And not only that, you know, like even the nature itself give us the snow because, you know, we had learned how to capture the heat that is warm enough to sustain a person without much heat. Yeah.
So you entered negotiations. When you entered them, the government had already made up their mind that there were going to be no exclusive hunting rights.
Well, the thing is that you know, the government's their game is, their attitude is that we have completely no rights. We don't have the Aboriginal rights. Not to the land, not to the ocean, not to the environment, not to our culture, our way of life. You know, that's the very essence of why we are here. And, you know, no exclusive hunting rights to Aboriginal rights to do our own hunting. And the country itself, you know, they had law and said anybody in Canada cannot hunt any kind of animal until September 1st, such as ducks and geese. And yeah. Here we make our living out there all the time because it was our storehouse. And so this is why, you know, we say that that was our season, the 4 seasons of our way of life.
How did you convince them? How did you convince the government to listen to you?
Well, probably I could tell you a couple of things on that. One is that, you know, when the Oil, Fisheries and Oceans, Departments of Fisheries and Oceans, and we were talking about whales and animals and mammals of the sea, the Beaufort Sea animals, and fish, and you know, said, you know, you can't do hunting, you can't, you know, we have to follow what the scientists say. And then Mark Noxana, who was the elder negotiator, he was part of the negotiating team. And he was very huge in stature. He was a big man, well over 600 pounds, 6 foot. And then, you know, probably over 300 pounds, maybe close to 400 pounds. And the guys from Fishers say that you cannot hunt those animals unless are given to you. And then listening for a while, and then bang! Mark Noxana got up And the guys from fisheries was looking at him, and not some of them was looking at him, but the people that's talking try to ignore him. And then he got up, and then they couldn't ignore him no longer, because he had to get their attention. Hit the table again, and they said, "Hey you like potato? I got no potato. I eat whales. My family have to eat. What you gonna do if I take your potato away?" Pretty soon the person's complexion changed, got red. And then finally he had to pay attention to Mark, because he was just sitting right across him. And when Mark said to him, "I take your potato away, you take my whale away, who's gonna die first?" And he was serious. So those kind of things that I remember. From that moment on, the other side of the table had to start listening, because it was so powerful. He even shake the table with his mighty hit. And it was very strong. From there on, things started to loosen up a bit.